Welcome! Today, we're going to dive into a game that totally transforms how students see fractions. It's called Fraction Pictionary, and it's just a fantastic way to connect creativity with those core math concepts. You know, we've all been there. Fractions can feel so, well, abstract. It's so easy for students to get stuck thinking they only apply to pizzas and pies, right? So the big question is, how do we help them see fractions in the world all around them? Well, this game is a really brilliant solution. So, here's our game plan. We'll cover why this game is so effective, exactly how to play it, and how you can use it in your classroom. We'll even walk through a sample round to see it in action. Okay, let's jump right in. First up, let's get to the heart of it. Let's explore the educational why behind Fraction Pictionary. Why is this so much more than just a fun Friday activity? Okay, so at its core, Fraction Pictionary is a game where students have to draw fractions using real-world objects, and their teammates are racing against the clock to guess both. The real power here is that it pushes students to think beyond the usual circles and squares and see fractions in everything from soccer balls to butterflies. What's great is that the game directly targets those essential math skills. Students are actively practicing dividing wholes into equal parts, identifying those parts, and really getting a feel for the difference between a numerator and a denominator. It's such a hands-on way to meet standards, like the Common Core's 3-point NFA1. All right, let's get into the mechanics. How do you actually play this in your classroom? Don't worry, it's incredibly simple. The best part? The materials are things you already have on hand. All you need are the game cards, some scratch paper and pencils, a simple way to keep score, and a timer. Then, just split your class into small teams of 3 or 4 students. The gameplay loop is fast, and it keeps everyone involved. A drawer picks a card and has just 1 minute to draw it, pictures only, no words or numbers allowed. Their teammates, the guessers, are shouting out answers while a scorekeeper tracks the points. What's really cool is that the roles rotate every single round, so every student gets a chance to be the drawer, the guesser, and the scorekeeper. And the scoring is really smart because it rewards progress, not just perfection. If the team nails both the object and the fraction, they get 2 points. But, and this is key, if they only get one or the other, they still earn a point. That keeps motivation super high. Okay, so now that you know the rules, let's talk strategy. How can you fit this game perfectly into your lesson plans? This game is just so versatile. I mean, you can use it for your math centers, as a fun whole class review, for partner work, or even as a go-to activity for those students who always finish their work early. And you can differentiate it so easily. For your younger learners, maybe in 3rd grade, just stick to simple fractions like halves and fourths. For your on-level students, the standard cards will be perfect. And for your older or more advanced students, you can challenge them with improper fractions or even mixed numbers. Okay, this is where the magic really happens. Let's walk through a sample round so you can hear the kind of rich mathematical conversations this game sparks. So, imagine a student draws this card. They've got 1 minute to get their team to guess 2/8 of a soccer ball, and they can only use a drawing. They start sketching a circle. Immediately, one of the guessers identifies the object. Boom. That's the first step. They've already secured 1 point for the team. But now they have to figure out the fraction based on how the drawer divides and shades that ball. Now listen to this. Another student chimes in, using really precise math language to explain their thinking. They're not just guessing randomly, they're actually saying why they think it's 2/8, pointing to the number of equal parts and the shaded portion. And this is where the really deep learning clicks into place. Another student builds on that idea, asking a clarifying question that pushes the entire team to think more deeply about the very definition of a fraction. It's just a perfect example of how the game makes student thinking visible and encourages them to back up their ideas. So we've seen why the game works and what it actually looks like in practice. Let's wrap things up with the key takeaways. So why does Fraction Pictionary work so darn well? Because it hits so many learning goals at once. It builds that crucial visual understanding, it gets kids talking and working as a team, and it makes their thinking visible. It really just transforms a tough concept into something creative, collaborative, and, memorable. And the learning doesn't have to stop when the timer buzzes. You can use the game as a springboard for a great class discussion. Asking simple but powerful questions like, what was the most challenging part? Or why was it so important to have equal parts? Can tell you so much about what your students truly understand and where they might still have some confusion. It's a perfect, low-stakes, formative assessment. Ultimately, this game is all about bringing that sense of joy and creativity back into the math classroom. It empowers students to see fractions, to talk about them with real confidence, and to start thinking like mathematicians. So why not give it a try this week?